Imagine that everything you long for is already here waiting for you. If that were true, how would it change the way you ask? Jacobo Grinberg, known for exploring the mysteries of consciousness, said that our perception of reality is deeply linked to our mind. It's not just about what we think, but how we think. Today we are going to delve into a concept that will transform the way you understand the act of asking. Because even if you don't know it, you are always asking. When we hear the word ask, maybe we think of something verbal, in words directed towards something external, perhaps towards a higher force that we imagine outside of ourselves. But asking is much more than that. Your requests happen before you even open your mouth. It is a constant dialogue that occurs in the most intimate space of your being. Your mind thinks about this. Every thought you have is a declaration to the universe. Every image, every emotion that you allow to grow inside you is shaping the way you experience life. For example, when you want something, maybe you say, "I want success, love, abundance." But if deep in your mind you harbor thoughts like, "I don't deserve it, it's too difficult," or "Who am I to have that?" you are sending a message contradictory, and that internal message is the one that prevails. Asking is not an occasional act. It is a state of being. It is the set of your thoughts, emotions, and dominant beliefs. If your mind is a river, your requests are the current that runs through it. They are always in motion. The most important thing you must understand is that you cannot stop asking even if you wanted to. It does not matter if you do it consciously or unconsciously. Your mind is always communicating something. Every time you worry about the future, you doubt your abilities, or even when you feel gratitude and love, you are asking, you are sending a message to the universe that says, "Give me more of this." The problem is that many of our requests are chaotic. Imagine you want to plant a beautiful garden, but every day you plant different seeds. In the end, what grows is chaos. This is how we usually build our reality, asking for abundance, but at the same time, fearing scarcity. The key is to become aware of this internal dialogue, observe what messages you are sending, and how that is reflected in your life. When you align your thoughts with what you truly desire, you begin to transform your reality from within. Think of your mind as a mirror. If you hold in front of it an image of fear or lack, that's what it will reflect. But if you hold onto an image of fullness and certainty, the mirror will have no choice but to reflect it. Back here is a principle that seems simple, but can be revolutionary if you apply it. Reality is an effect. It is not the cause of your experiences, but a reflection of what happens inside you. Many times we try to change our lives by manipulating the effects. For example, if you want success, you might think, "I have to work harder." But if in your mind you keep believing that you are not worthy of that success, all your efforts will be in vain to change your reality. You must first change the cause, and the cause is always in your mind. Look at people who seem to have a full life. It's not just about their actions, but their internal state. These people have learned to live in harmony with their desires, to hold a clear vision of what they want, and more importantly, to believe that they already have it. Changing the cause means focusing your energy on what really matters. Your internal state. Have you noticed how your thoughts can shape your day? If you wake up thinking, "Today will be a difficult day," your mind will constantly search for evidence that confirms that expectation. However, if you wake up feeling grateful and open to receive the best in life, it's as if the universe aligns itself to give you reasons to feel this way. The key is to learn to communicate with that force that some call universal intelligence, quantum field, or God, no matter what name you use. The essential thing is to understand that this force responds not only to what you say, but to what you are. A common mistake is to think that to ask we need to use specific words, adopt formal postures, or do complex rituals, but a powerful request does not require any of that. The true request is a state of alignment. It is the moment in which your mind, your emotions, and your intention are in coherence. For example, if you say, "I want abundance," but deep down you feel fear or scarcity, Your state of being is not aligned with what you are asking for. It is like wanting to listen to clear music on a radio tuned to the wrong frequency. The frequency you emit must match the reality you wish to attract. Here comes into play the concept that this higher power is not separate from you. It is not somewhere far away waiting for you to find it. It is within you, present in every moment to access it. You do not need to look for it. Outside, you need to come back to yourself. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that everything what you wish for is already fulfilled. Don't think about the how or the steps to get there. Simply feel what it would be like to live that reality. You can feel the peace, the gratitude, the confidence. This is the language that this higher intelligence understands. Beyond words, it responds to your vibration, to the emotional frequency that you maintain. And speaking of emotional frequency, if you had to describe the emotion that predominates during your day with a single word, what would it be? Write it in the comments, a single word that defines your predominant emotional frequency. This could help you understand if your vibration is blocking what you ask for. The most effective request is not always the one you say out loud. It is often the request that happens silently, in the moments when your mind is calm and open. It is the moment when you recognize that you do not need to fight for your desires because they are already available to you, that you have an intimate conversation with that higher power within you. Not as someone who is begging, but as someone who is giving thanks. You do not need to convince this power to give you what you desire. You simply need to align yourself with it. Think of a mountain when you desire water. You do not climb the mountain to look for it. Instead, you create a channel that allows the water to flow to you. This is how your requests work. It's not about achieving something, but about opening a path for what you desire to flow naturally into your life. Many people fall into the trap of believing they must do something extraordinary to earn what they desire. We think we need to work harder, sacrifice, or prove our worth. But this mindset disconnects us from our true nature. The universe doesn't reward you for your effort. It only responds to your internal state. If you live in a constant state of need, that's what you will continue to attract. But if you live from a state of certainty, gratitude, and fulfillment, the universe will reflect that back to you. To change the cause, you need to learn to declare with intention. This means your thoughts and emotions must be aligned with what you want to create. It's not enough to say, "I want happiness." You need to live as if that happiness is already a reality in your life. The next time you want to ask for something, do this: close your eyes and breathe deeply. Visualize what you desire, but not as something that is in the future. Imagine that it is already here. Allow that vision to awaken emotions in you: gratitude, joy, peace. Mentally repeat, "Thank you, because it is already mine." This simple exercise transforms your internal state and aligns your mind with the reality you wish to manifest by understanding that asking is more, that using words, which is a constant internal dialogue, you become a conscious creator of your life. Your reality will no longer be defined by chance or circumstances, but by what you choose to sow in your mind. Asking is not about doing, but about being. It is a state of communion with that higher force that lives within you, a silent conversation that has the power to transform everything around you. But how can you stay in that state of coherence in the midst of the challenges of daily life? The key is to practice presence. Being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs allows you to identify when you are moving away from what you truly desire to manifest. This does not mean that you should avoid emotions such as fear or doubt, but rather you should learn to observe them without allowing them to define your vibration. Imagine that you are the sky and your thoughts are the clouds. Some clouds are light and beautiful, while others are dark and heavy. However, the sky never stops being the sky, no matter what the clouds are like. When you identify with your negative thoughts, it is as if you forget that you are the sky and you become the cloud. But when you learn to observe your thoughts, you realize that you always have the choice of choosing which ones to feed. Let's say you want to attract more abundance into your life, but you notice that you continually have thoughts like, "It's never enough," or "I don't know if I can do it." Instead of fighting those thoughts, simply observe them and ask yourself, does this reflect the reality that I want to create? By becoming aware of them, you can replace them with things more aligned with your desires, like, "I am surrounded by abundance," or "I trust that everything comes to me." Remember that the universe doesn't just listen to your words, listen to your frequency. You can repeat positive affirmations all day long, but if deep down you feel lack or fear, that is what the universe will reflect. That is why it is essential to cultivate a state of gratitude and certainty. Gratitude is a powerful tool because it automatically places you on the frequency of what is already fulfilled. You cannot feel gratitude for something that does not exist. So when you are thanking, you are declaring that it is already yours in a certain way. It is not about asking, but about remembering to remember that you are already connected with everything you need, that within you lives an infinite force that is ready to manifest your deepest desires. Receive, as always, the hug of the entire team. For now, I leave thanking you for your company and wishing you all the good that life has to give you. See you soon. Stay awake.